Well, I'm a on-board apprentice. I'm in my first year. I got that in September, and I'm been there 3-4 months now. And basically, in about the second month, my Sam Ashman, she came to me and said, "Does anyone want to be a STEM ambassador?" Which is basically like the insight for apprentices. So like going to schools and pushing the apprenticeship scheme. And straight away I wanted to do it because when I was at school, there wasn't really, it was all focused on A levels and going to uni, like pushing students towards uni, and straight away that's not what I wanted to do. So I was like, there was nothing about apprenticeship schemes or anything. So last year I struggled. So but I looked on DirectGov, got an apprenticeship, and that's what's got me to where I am now. And I want to be able to provide people like I was at school that don't want to go uni, and provide them with an apprenticeship scheme, and hopefully I can give them the knowledge to get where I was, kind of thing. Yeah. For me, uni is more like a specific kind of like education. Like for me, my personal view, you go uni, you're not guaranteed a job at the end of it because, or you've got the qualifications, but you haven't got the experience in like an industry. Whereas apprenticeship, you're being essentially trained in the industry. You're getting qualifications while working to go higher, and I believe that's more an effective way of, because employment, if I was like a manager looking for someone, I won't look at qualifications, I'd look at someone that's got the experience in the industry itself, because they will know what they're doing. Whereas essentially if you've got the qualifications, like better than someone else, if they haven't got the experience, you're going to have to teach them again anyway. So I believe like you've got the experience, you'll have a good idea of what you're going to do in the actual job itself after you've completed your apprenticeship.
Okay, so we've got 9 apprentices at Royal Mail at the moment. We've got some apprentices who've been with us for 2 years and some have just started this last year, so they've been with us for about 4 months. Now what we want to get out of the apprentices, we want to be the apprentices and the leaders of the future, so we want to give them the skills and the ability to earn while you learn as well, because you know a lot of people don't want to go to university anymore, they want to dip the toes into the working sort of sector, and from that we can get sort of young views, new ideas, innovation, because you know it's good to, for the succession plan, it's good to get the youngsters involved, pass the experience from, you know, down the line from the experienced people down to the youngsters as well. And also the good things that they bring to the table is the technology, that sort of thing, because they're really good on computers and the internet and that sort of thing. I think the common theme is the soft skills. So for us it's when they're at school they work in silo, working on their work and their exams and studying. When they come into the workplace we expect them to work in big teams, and there's different types of people, so it's how to work effectively with different type of people and get the most out of the relationship and working together as a team and pulling on different people's skills. So it's all around building their confidence and the communication skills and presenting themselves effectively too. Yes, there are some gaps in the place where I work. What I'd like to see is more engagement sessions with the Chesterfield College and the employees, so they get to really know what those sort of soft gaps are. You know, this is great today, having a forum like this, so you're aware, you listen to our views, we can have our say. I think you can do more work with all different employees who take apprenticeship to find out what those gaps are, prioritise them, say to the top 20, because I'm sure there'll be a common theme through it. I mean, one of the big ones that's coming out today is they're not used to doing working hours like 9 till 5, they're used to, you know, rocking up at school, getting in at 9, and then finishing at 3, and they have lots of breaks. So it's that sort of discipline of coming to work and, you know, making sure that you attend regularly and you get the most out of your placement. You know, you've always got to be open to new ideas and things. There's the Trailblazer standards that are coming into operation where the government's made a promise to increase the amount of apprentices we've got by 2020, and we're putting together standards as a kite mark. So, you know, we're looking to have more apprentices over the next 4 years. You know, we're looking to have intakes at least 10 every single year, so definitely.
Currently got 2 apprentices, a first year and a second year apprentice. One guy came out of his apprenticeship 3 years ago. We needed to bring young people in, teach them the skills that we have, and that's the crux of it all. I want them to learn a trade so they can do everything within our work, so they can build a fork truck and even get involved in the design eventually of a fork truck, because everything we design and build is to the customer requirements.
That's a very specialised.
Very specialised.
You mentioned you've got quite a small team, so they've got to be quite multi-skilled.
Everybody has to do everything. the things we've been discussing is how we interface, how we get people interested, young people, to get them interested in coming into engineering, because they don't seem to be guided into engineering anymore. When I started life as an apprentice, funnily enough, and people encouraged me to be an apprentice engineer, and that's not happening anymore.
So if you had the opportunity to stand up in front of a school assembly,
Yep.
and you were saying to the kids, why do an apprenticeship, especially in your business, your industry, which I'm going to hazard a guess you've never heard of, or
That's
even
right,
heard
I'm
of
sure.
that kind of possibility, how would you sell it to them?
How would I say to them? Look at myself. I started as a 16-year-old kid, came out of school with not a great education, a bit of an education. I've been a director of 3 companies, and now I'm operations manager of a company which I'm hoping to see till I'm 65. So I've had a good living out of the industry, and I believe there's a good living to be earned by a lot of young people now. I don't think schools are pushing children down that path. I think they're pushing everybody to be computer guys, computer wizards, which there's nothing wrong with computers. I don't think we can live without them anymore, but they've got a place in an engineering business.
Well, it's quite difficult. I think the way that schools develop, they don't really show people what the work environment is really like, because it can be quite hard. I think lots of kids would come into our place and think, oh, I wouldn't want to work here. But I think once you've got over that and you see the variety of work and the way that you can develop, and I've got youngsters who've developed and worked for me for many years, who've started on the shop floor and they've grown into senior management roles, they've learned new skills, we've sent them away for training. There are lots of opportunities. It's down to the individual at the end of the day, and it's not about a university degree. We've taken kids through who've got no education whatsoever. We've gone through an awful lot that have just fallen by the wayside, but the ones who've stuck at it have got good careers. So there are good opportunities. It would seem the communication with schools is very poor because teachers aren't aware of the workplace. Most teachers have never left school themselves, which is a problem. But I think a joint approach through STEM and local employers with schools and engaging with them to sell the opportunities of apprenticeships, I think would be a good idea. If you can get schools to buy into that. Well, we're very local. We're in Bolsover, so we have quite a pool of local people. It's an ex-mining community. There's the will to work is the biggest problem because the culture of unemployment is endemic in the area, and that's our biggest problem. It's trying to find people who really want to work and realise what work is all about, because a lot of people just don't understand that. So that's the biggest difficulty. Once we've got the right raw material with the will to work, we can do something with them.